Russian soldiers are filming two North Koreans, and they are saying, "Our guys managed to establish excellent friendships with the dear guests, and at the same time pass on our gifts." After all, it's hard for them too, being away from home, and these two weirdos were really sad. They were the only ones from their company who survived. Tremendous losses among the Norks. Out of a company, 150 Norks, only this two survived.
Yesterday, we received humanitarian aid. A woman saw you in a photograph when I took a picture of you with a weapon. She said, "Wow, a special gift from her to you." So, what's this? This is a ghillie suit. Okay, put it on the box for now. Then show what else. Basically. Well, say something, I will send this video. Well, thank you. And say, now we will also see what else can be done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The head of the Anti-Terrorism Center's staff had been secretly working for Russia's FSB. Ukraine's security service chief Vasyl Malyuk personally conducted the arrest. Sources within the intelligence services confirmed to NV that the traitor was identified as Colonel Dmytro Kozyura. The SBU documented 14 instances of the high-ranking official's illegal activities. The SBU chief personally led both the investigative team that tracked the double agent and the operation to detain him. Describing the operation as extremely complex, Malyuk highlighted that all available covert and overt methods were used, alongside extensive operational and technical measures. SBU specialists hacked into the Russian agent's encrypted devices, monitoring his communications via audio and video surveillance. This allowed them to record evidence of intelligence gathering and transmission to Russian handlers. Additionally, the SBU used the traitor to feed disinformation to Russian intelligence over an extended period. Malyuk promised to reveal further details of the counterintelligence operation in the coming days. The number of light civilian vehicles that Russians have been using on the front line in the past month is unprecedented. While light transport has always been utilized, it has never been seen in such large quantities as it is now. Over the past several months, Russian armored assaults on the front lines have significantly decreased. This decline is due to a combination of catastrophic losses, production shortfalls, and Ukraine's increasingly effective use of anti-tank weaponry. At the start of the full-scale invasion, Russian forces relied heavily on mechanized attacks, using large numbers of tanks and infantry fighting vehicles to push through Ukrainian defenses. However, as the war has dragged on, those tactics have become unsustainable. Advanced Western-supplied anti-tank systems, Ukrainian drone warfare, and well-coordinated artillery fire have turned Russian armor into easy targets. As a result, Russian commanders are resorting to meat waves, mass human wave attacks using poorly trained and minimally equipped soldiers. Instead of leading assaults with armored vehicles, which offer at least some level of protection, Russia increasingly throws large numbers of infantry forward, often with little more than rifles and grenades. These troops, drawn from penal battalions, forcibly mobilized men, and Central Asian migrants, are sent in waves to overwhelm Ukrainian positions through sheer numbers. The goal is not necessarily to achieve a breakthrough, but to exhaust Ukrainian defenders and expose their positions to artillery. However, this brutal tactic has resulted in staggering Russian casualties, with thousands of troops dying for minimal territorial gains. Another clear sign of Russia's armor shortages is the growing use of unprotected or civilian vehicles on the battlefield. Ukrainian forces have frequently documented Russian troops arriving at the front in civilian pickup trucks, cargo vans, and repurposed commercial vehicles. In some cases, these vehicles are hastily reinforced with makeshift armor, but they stand little chance against drones, artillery, or even small arms fire. This trend highlights the growing desperation within the Russian military. With a dwindling supply of modern armored vehicles, they are forced to repurpose whatever transport they can find. Some reports even suggest that stolen civilian cars from occupied Ukrainian territories are being used to ferry troops and supplies. The situation is made worse by Russia's industrial limitations. While some production of new tanks continues, the country cannot replace losses quickly enough. Many of the new vehicles seen on the battlefield are actually outdated Soviet-era models, hastily refurbished from storage depots. Some of these tanks, such as the T-62 and even the T-55, were designed in the 1950s and offer little protection against modern weaponry. Even the newer T-72 and T-80 variants being sent to the front often lack proper upgrades, making them vulnerable to Ukrainian strikes. Ultimately, the shift away from large-scale armored assaults to infantry-based meat-wave tactics and the use of unprotected vehicles signals that Russia is struggling to maintain its once dominant mechanized forces. While these strategies may allow them to continue fighting, they come at an enormous human cost and expose deep weaknesses in their military capabilities. Russian military pilots and their families are panicking. Ukrainian journalists who conducted an independent investigation found and declassified the classified documents of military pilots, Military Unit 75715, who carried out strikes on Ukrainian civilians. Names, surnames, ranks, social media profiles, photos, posted all the information in the public domain on the internet, right down to the addresses of their families. They report that the families of the Russian pilots raised a howl when they found out that they were exposed. They will find us and kill us all. What can we say? What were you thinking about before? Now the best way out for you is to make yourselves euthanasia. Imagine a person who has lost his home and his entire family. This is not a person, this is a homing torpedo. And there are more than enough of these unstoppable torpedoes for everyone. When you meet them, you will regret that you did not self-destruct. Russia intends to expand its military by 12 to 15 divisions in 2025, conscripting an additional 150,000 troops, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in an interview with The Guardian. The aggressor state will increase its military size through conscription and by recruiting North Korean soldiers, Zelensky added. Intelligence has informed me, we know, the head of state said. Russians will increase their army in 2025 by 12 to 15 divisions, and we estimate that this will be around 150,000 additional military personnel. Russia is likely to train new recruits on Belarusian soil, noted Zelensky. Previously, Ukraine's first Deputy Minister of Defense, Lieutenant General Ivan Havrilyuk, reported that Russia recruited at least 427,000 soldiers in 2024. This suggests a monthly increase of approximately 36,000 troops for Russia's army. The US-based Institute for the Study of War reported on February 4 that Russia is likely facing difficulties in recruiting enough new soldiers, as the monthly conscription rate is equal to or lower than the number of losses in Ukraine.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.